Coming up on Citrus TV News, President Trump addresses political and business elites at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Find out what we had to say and what he had to say about the United States economic policy.
And a university-wide policy change will have a major impact on students' transcripts. Citrus TV reporter Brendan Tierney will join us in studio to tell us more.
And across the globe, dozens are dead after a hospital fire in South Korea. Why is this fire the worst in a decade? All that and more. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
And welcome to Citrus TV News. Our top story tonight, the USA Gymnastics Board is complying with Olympic Committee demands to resign or face decertification. Good evening, I'm Nicole DeMentri.
And I'm Noah Eagle. In a letter sent to the board yesterday, the Olympic Committee outlined this and other demands for institutional reform. This, the latest in the fallout following the Larry Nassar scandal.
And tonight marks the beginning of sorority recruitment. Citrus TV reporter James Groh has why some are excited for the process to begin.
Sorority recruitment begins tonight. Nearly 1,000 girls will be touring the sororities Syracuse has to offer. Each potential new member will be looking for a new place to call home.
And I think it'd be a good opportunity to meet new people and be exposed to like a different climate on campus.
But the prospect of making friends isn't the only thing that is getting some excited.
Getting the chance to see the inside of those sorority houses, because like you walk by to go to Whitman, and you don't know what it looks like inside, so I think I'm excited for that.
And the recent scandals to hit Greek life here at Syracuse aren't deterring anyone from rushing either.
I also believe that won't be a problem, and I trust the house that I would join. I trust the process.
The entire recruitment process lasts until bid day, February 4th. James Groh, Citrus TV.
Thank you, James. And over the next 2 weekends, 13 sororities on SU campus will take part in the Social Spring recruitment process.
$2.28 million, that's the gift that Syracuse University Life trustees William and Janet Allen are giving to SU. The money will go towards the College of Engineering and Computer Science. The multi-million-dollar donation will be used to fund the Bill and Penny Allen Innovation Center in Link Hall. Part of the money will also go towards Invent at SU, a program that allows students to invent their own products. This Sunday, SU will hold its annual Martin Luther King celebration in the Carrier Dome. The event will feature community awards, live performances, dinner, and a keynote speech from Angela Rye. Rye runs the boards of the Congressional Black Caucus Institute and is a political commentator for CNN and NPR. Individual tickets for dinner will cost you $30, while a full table costs $300. The free portion of the night begins at 5:30.
And 2 Syracuse students are headed to the semifinal round of a startup tournament held in March. Tay Lott and Kevin Ryak will compete against 31 other digital media startups from colleges across the nation. Now the winner goes to the final round of the tournament, and their startup, Raval, is a travel company that allows filmmakers to turn their videos into mapped itineraries and personal travel guides. And changes are made every semester here on campus. However, one change for the spring will have a major impact on students' transcripts. Citrus TV reporter Brendan Tierney joins us with the university's new policy on dropping a class.
Thanks, Nicole. The new drop deadline and the financial deadline and the academic drop deadline are now the same date. This semester, that will be February 6th. The registrar's office made the change so students will not get charged for class they don't complete. But that means for a class to fully come off your transcript, it needs to be dropped by the 3rd week of the semester. Newhouse academic advisor Wes Whiteside says the most important things for students to remember is the new drop deadline.
You can go down to CDC right now. Yeah, when I say later, I just mean later on today. You can go down to CDC right now. Yeah, when I say later, I just mean later on.
And now Whiteside says that students should make sure they're in the right number of courses and credits before the drop deadline. However, he is yet to see any major changes or concerns by students. As the new deadline approaches, he expects to see a little bit more on February 6th. Brendan Tierney, Citrus TV News. Nicole?
Well, thanks so much, Brendan. Syracuse may not have an NFL team, but the city will still be represented at this year's Super Bowl. The Syracuse company Ephesus Lighting designed the lights at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, and this isn't their first rodeo either. The company's lights were first used in the 2015 Super Bowl in Phoenix. Stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco is performing his new comedy show, Stay Hungry, at the Syracuse Landmark Theater on Saturday. Maniscalco has headlined several Netflix specials and will perform twice over the weekend. Tickets can be bought on the Landmark Theater's website.
And former Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner is no longer considering a congressional run against Republican incumbent John Katko. But she is, however, considering a gubernatorial challenge against Governor Cuomo. Now, this decision marks the second time in 3 months that Miner has decided against a congressional run. Her change in political plans means Democrats must find a new candidate to run against Katko. And the trial of a former governor, aide, and 2 Syracuse business executives is heating up in New York City. Governor Cuomo's chief of staff testified in federal court at the trial of Joseph Percoco and 2 men from Syracuse-based Core Development. Records show Core and its associates donated $300,000 over 10 years to Cuomo's campaign for alleged favors.
A century-old restaurant in Fayetteville is permanently closing its doors on Saturday. Holler's Restaurant first opened in 1911, making it one of the oldest eateries in central New York. The restaurant is locally famous for hot beef, haddock, and hamburgers. Current owner Nanette Holler is the 4th generation of her family to run the restaurant. New York is suing the federal government over the new GOP tax bill, and the state is getting some help from its neighbors. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced today that New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut are launching a coalition to sue the federal government. Governors from all 3 states say that the new law is especially unfair to the blue states and their taxpayers. Talking Point analyst Joseph Lino is here in studio to explain their issue with the bill. Joseph, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So why does the coalition consider the tax bill, as Governor Cuomo put it, it's kind of philosophically repugnant?
Yeah. Well, their main issue with the bill is a provision that eliminates what's called the state and local tax exemption, which allows individuals to deduct their state and local taxes before their federal income tax is calculated. And they say that by removing this, it, one, opens up people to double taxation, and by having that same income tax twice. And then their other issue with it is that it violates the principle of federalism by, as they assert, preventing states from taxing their citizens and providing services for them.
Okay, so what is the legal argument at play here? I mean, you just explained so many complicated things. Right. What's the main argument here?
So what they're making, for one, the federalism argument, and then 2, they're making an argument that it violates the Equal Protection Clause, saying that the 12 states that are most affected by this new provision, or the lack of this former provision, are Democratic states that President Trump lost with. It specifically targets Democratic states, and that is a violation of that 14th Amendment clause.
And what do you really see as the timetable here for the lawsuit coming from Andrew Cuomo?
Yeah. Well, these things can take time, but they're expecting a lot more states to sign on and step up and help them out in the next few weeks. And so we'll just have to wait and see how this one unfolds. But thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, Joseph, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. And while the sun did little and shined a little today, didn't do a little, it did do a lot. I'm thinking it's going to get cold again. What are you thinking, Noah?
I hope not.
I mean,
first
it was
of all.
like 20 degrees today.
It felt good today,
nice.
But let's see if our weather anchor Jack Watson can tell you you're wrong.
Ugh.
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, temperatures up a little bit more than usual today. We saw some of that snow from earlier in the week melting quite a bit. High of about 48 degrees today, or 39 degrees today, rather. Just a hair above freezing. Now, it's going to be a hair below freezing tonight with a low of 31 degrees. A clear and dry night for most of the night. And here's what we're looking at with our radar tomorrow. Up here in southern Canada is what we're really looking at to affect our area tomorrow afternoon. Dry throughout the morning tomorrow, but wet in the afternoon. And our Saturday forecast here, a high of 47 degrees, with sunshine turning to afternoon rain, but we could have snow next week. I'll have that and more on my full forecast when Citrus TV News Live at 6 returns, guys.
Jack, Saturday is looking great, but coming up, a bombshell report from the New York Times says Trump ordered the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller in June. Now, how is the president responding to the story?
And we'll have more details on the Paris flooding advisory. Stay with us.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first round, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning. Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Now, President Trump is denying a report that he ordered his attorney to fire special counsel Robert Mueller.
The New York Times reported last night that Trump ordered White House counsel attorney Don McCann to fire Mueller back in June. According to the Times, McCann did not comply with Trump's order because he disagreed with the president's reasoning.
And in other political news, in another New York Times report, Hillary Clinton kept an advisor on her campaign despite sexual harassment allegations. Now, a female campaign staffer accused Clinton's faith advisor, Bernd Strider, of harassments back in 2008.
Clinton aides urged her to fire Strider, but Clinton refused to do so and kept him on for the rest of her Democratic nomination run. Strider was later fired from the organization after multiple female staffers alleged he had harassed them.
And now Michigan State Athletic Director Mark Hollis resigned this morning amid the new details involving the Larry Nassar scandal. No one accused Hollis of knowing about Nassar's actions, but more than 5 women said they alerted athletic trainers or coaches.
Former Michigan State President Lou Anna Simon resigned yesterday, and now reports are saying that cover-ups of sexual assault allegations stretch the university's football and basketball programs. Citrus TV News will keep you updated as this story develops.
And Massachusetts Representative Joseph Kennedy III is slated to give the Democratic Party's response to President Trump's State of the Union address on Tuesday. Now, the representative rose to the spotlight last year for his criticism of attempts to end Obamacare.
The decision marks him as a rising star in the Democratic Party and the main voice countering presidential politics. Virginia Democrat Elizabeth Guzman will deliver the party's Spanish language response.
And President Trump addressed global leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos today. The annual meeting brings together nearly 3,000 business and political leaders to discuss international conflicts.
During the speech, Trump cited economic growth under his administration and invited international businesses to reinvest in the U.S. Take a listen to what he had to say.
America first does not mean America alone. When the United States grows, so does the world. American prosperity has created countless jobs all around the globe, and the drive for excellence, creativity, and innovation in the U.S. has led to important discoveries that help people everywhere live more prosperous and far healthier lives.
The deadliest fire in a decade. Nearly 40 people are dead and over 100 injured in South Korea.
Officials think the fire started in the emergency room of a Sejong hospital. Firefighters say the victims died of smoke inhalation. The death toll is expected to rise.
And the Seine River in Paris continues to overflow tonight after days of torrential rain. The famous river rose about 18 feet, closing nearby roads and interrupting traffic.
Authorities expect the Seine to max out at around 20 feet on Sunday. The river has overtaken nearby streets, forcing the Louvre to close down some levels. Coming up, actor Casey Affleck will no longer be presenting at the Oscars. Why the move strays away from Oscar tradition.
And women are now eligible to join a prestigious Harvard theater group. Find out just why this change was so long overdue. Don't go anywhere.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And as this central New York Friday night begins, we have mid to low 30s going on throughout most of the area. Syracuse 33, Cortland 31, Ithaca 35, out here by Lake Ontario, Rochester 38 degrees. 27, however, in Rome, so we do have some outliers. Right now on the Hill, pretty dry. It's going to be wet tomorrow afternoon, so it's going to be much different tomorrow afternoon around this time. But right now it's 33 degrees. And our Friday planner, we have 37 degrees when you're waking up on Saturday morning, 45 degrees by noon, and it stays in the low 40s by 6 p.m. at 43 degrees. And if you missed the solar eclipse a few months ago, next week you'll have a chance to see the total lunar eclipse at 5:51 a.m. on the East Coast. Onlookers will only be able to see the very start of the supermoon. The lunar eclipse will best be seen out west in places like Alaska, Hawaii, and the West Coast like California and Oregon. The supermoon and the blue moon will take place on Wednesday, January 31st.
Thanks so much for that, Jack. Now, General Motors is facing a major lawsuit after a robot-operated vehicle malfunctioned and seriously injured a California driver. Oscar Wilhelm Nilsson was in the car struck by the Cruise AV, claiming the accident left him unable to work. Now, the San Francisco Police Department claims that the accident was in fact Nilsson's fault, saying that he tried to pass the vehicle before it was safe. Nilsson's suit marks one of the first against autonomous cars. And you may want to think twice before picking up your coffee tomorrow morning. A California lawsuit is reviewing whether or not coffee should be labeled a cancer risk. California law requires businesses to post warnings if anything could be dangerous. One of the chemicals mentioned in the law appears in coffee when beans are roasted. The judge is set to decide on the lawsuit within the next few months.
Actor Casey Affleck will not be presenting the Best Actress Award at the Oscars this year. Affleck will break tradition after winning Best Actor for his role in Manchester by the Sea by not presenting the Best Actress Award at this year's ceremony. The 42-year-old withdrew from presenting the award Thursday evening after allegations of 2 sexual harassment suits were made public. Both claims were settled out of court in 2010. Affleck has repeatedly denied allegations. It's been 223 years, but women are officially allowed to act in Harvard's coveted Hasty Pudding Theater Group. The announcement came Thursday during the group's Women of the Year celebration honoring actress Mila Kunis. The group is known for its comedic shows that feature men in drag playing females. The theater organization is committed to begin casting women by next year.
And human migration may have begun much earlier than previously thought. Archaeologists in Israel excavated the oldest fossil of modern human species outside of Africa Thursday. Paleoanthropologists found an upper left jawbone with parts of the nose and cheekbone still intact. And now the fossil even still had its teeth.
Coming up in sports, Orange men's basketball heads to the Steel City to take on the Pitt Panthers. Plus, Coach Q and the team continued ACC play in the Dome last night. I've got your highlights on the other side of the break.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Hello and welcome to sports. I'm Nick Dugan. Just 9 days ago, Syracuse men's basketball picked up its first win of 2018 over Pittsburgh. Round 2 against the Panthers amidst the Oakland Zoo is sure to be a more hostile environment. The Orange hasn't won at the Peterson Events Center since 2014, and Jim Boeheim needed a 35-footer from Tyler Ennis to grab that W. Defense worked well against the Panthers last time out, but after an 81-point performance against Boston College on Wednesday, it could be the offense that fuels the team tomorrow afternoon.
I think we were better. Movement, our turnovers were better. We certainly shot it better. We had time to work on our shooting. You never know when you get that time whether it's really going to help or not, but I think overall I think it was a positive. You know, we played much better tonight than our last game. Offensively, this was probably the best offensive game we played all year. So we had good balance with everybody pitching in. It was a really good win.
Be sure to check out our in-game coverage on Twitter at CitrusTV Sports. And don't forget to stick with us after the game for Orange Press Pass. Hear from the players and coaches. Plus, our team will have highlights and analysis right here on OTN Live at 8 p.m. For women's basketball, it's been a tale of two seasons, the one on the road and the one at home. Away from the Carrier Dome, the Orange is an even 5-5, but on the Hill, still a perfect 10-0. Clemson came for a visit last night. Could Coach Q and company push the streak to 11? We'll take you to the Carrier Dome now, and there's the head man himself, Coach Q, getting his squad set to take on the Tigers. Early on in this one, it's Tiana Mangakahia to Amaya Finkley. She gets the layup to go 9-2 SU at that point, and then more post play from Digna Stroutmane. She gets the friendly roll. 34-20, SU up by 14. We jump to the second half. Mangakahia, another jumper, another friendly roll. It's good. 75-41. The Orange running away with this one. Nikki Oppenheimer, as Coach Q clears the bench, she gets the jumper to fall. 86-51, your final score. To the ice, Syracuse women's ice hockey is coming off a perfect weekend at State College. Tonight and tomorrow, it's Mercyhurst. The Lakers have been a bitter rival since SU joined the CHA back in 2008. 3 of the previous 5 seasons, these teams have finished 1-2 in the CHA. The Orange currently sits 4 points back of the visitors in the division. Puck drop tonight is set for 7 p.m. Unfortunate news from Western New York today as Buffalo Bills starting center Eric Wood is retiring from football due to a complicated neck injury per a team statement. The former first-round pick is just 31 years old and has played all of his 9 seasons in Buffalo. Wood took to Twitter to thank Bills fans across the country this afternoon and will address the matter further at a press conference on Monday. In the association, both New York teams in action tonight, both on the road. The Nets visit All-Star starter Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks at 8 p.m. An hour later, Kristaps Porzingis and the Knickerbockers travel out west to take on the Phoenix Suns. Brooklyn is looking to bounce back after a last-second defeat in OKC on Tuesday, while New York looks to snap its 3-game skid.
Nick, thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming on. And don't worry, we still got plenty more ahead. Stay tuned.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Our 5-day forecast here in central New York, just barely scraping 50 degrees on Saturday, 47 the high that day. But Monday and Tuesday are what we're really looking at here. Tuesday with the highest likelihood for some snow in the morning. And Wednesday back to sunshine, 29 degrees the high that day.
All right, Jack, I'm looking forward to Wednesday weather, aren't you?
Absolutely.
All right, but you know what else I'm looking forward to? These nuts for Nutella. A riot-like scenes today from Paris as a French grocery chain cut the price of Nutella by 70%. That's a lot. Now, this video shows the kind of chaos caused by the sale. Such frenzy required police intervention in at least 3 separate instances.
And how about this? At one store, an employee says hundreds poured in and raided the grocer's stock of Nutella. Eventually, a manager had to step in and, accompanied by a security guard, ration 1 Nutella jar per person. I totally get this.
I totally understand this. I'm laughing because I think this is amazing. Why haven't we in the States cut it by 70% yet?
Because this would happen, because there would be riots.
Now, do you think if it happened at Wegmans, you would be the first in line to get it?
I would have to be. I'd have to get right in there.
All right, well, that's all we have for tonight. Noah might be heading to Wegmans right after this, but be sure to follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News and visit our website and citrustv.com. I'm Nicole DeMentri.
And I'm Noah Eagle.